Okay, good morning. We're giving it another shot. Behind me, my the postman just pulled up. You see him behind me? He says good morning to me every morning. Good morning. So here we are. We're giving it another shot. How is the sound now? Please tell me. These earbuds are going back, or the earpods, or whatever they are. They're going back. So as I was saying, it is June 24th, and it is my brother's birthday today. My brother Ray. He's the eldest in our family. And my brother Scott's birthday was 3 days ago on the 21st, and he's the youngest in our family. So September was a very exciting month, apparently. And so if you see either of those, Ray's the cuddly brother, Scott's the youngest, say happy birthday and tell them that you heard all about it. And so, anyway, the 21st, my uncle tells me the sun crossed over the line. It was the first day of summer, the longest day of the year. And when the sun crossed over the line, the wind was southwest for us. Thank God. That means that will be the prevailing wind. Take your time, Sheila. I feel like I'm on the 401 here. It's very busy, isn't it? That will be the prevailing wind for the whole summer, southwest. Isn't that exciting? Now, that is exciting because northeast is very bad. So, southwest is good. So, how is everyone doing? How is everyone doing? It is hay season. I'm going to tell you what, I grew up on a farm. All of you know that by now. For God's sake, if you don't, you're not paying attention. I grew up on a farm, and what hay season meant to us, it was always a time of community. Our community would get together and help out during hay season. Look at me with sleeveless on. Aren't I grand? Anyway, and hang on, wait, because this was planned. My sneakers match. See, here's the top. Hang on. Yeah, yeah. No, I mean you really got to be up close to see. But anyway, so hay season was always a very exciting time for us because it meant that everyone in the neighborhood would help. They would come around. Sacred heart, the traffic is extraordinary, isn't it? You wouldn't think for Doyle's Road. They would come around and they would help out with the baling of the hay, and the really actually they didn't help out with the baling as much as the storing. And when we were youngsters, it's not like nowadays. The youngsters have it all, and I don't say that with any resentment. I say that just as a matter of fact. The youngsters sort of have what they want. And that's just the truth. So, but back then, when we would get a Pepsi, it was a glass of Pepsi. And I'm very excited to get the glass of Pepsi too, and not a great big sort of goblet or a tumbler, just that much. That was enough. And so during hay season, usually the hottest time because that's when we can do the hay. We after 12 hours doing the hay, our reward was a can of Pepsi. Well, now look, that was like a cup of gold. I'm not kidding you. The men would get a case of beer, and the children would get a case of cold Pepsi. And I'll tell you something, that was just like heaven. So when you see the people going around and they're doing the hay, think of that. Think of how hard it is for those farmers. Uh, you know, that's the garbage man. He got a job to do as well. Think of how hard it is for the farmers. And now, since it is summer, my challenge to you is to go out. And I show you every week what it's like here in the Ghouls. So my challenge to you is to go out and show me what it's like for you. Now, on a little walk, just you don't need to do video now. We haven't got time to watch that footage. Just take a little picture of your walk or tell me about it in the comments, that sort of thing. And, it's nice to get out and get the smell of the house off you because it is summer after all. And so do that and send it to me in the comments or wherever you like. So, and also, next week, please God, next week I'll bring my little dog, and I'll ask about dogs next week. Okay. So here we go. I have one more thing. Oh, poor New Brunswick, hey? They're going through something now. I think they're a bit put off with Nova Scotia. There was a protest at the border. My God, help us. We don't know what this is all going to turn around to. So I will tell you, yesterday I was at the home and I was working. I was doing music therapy with my residents. And so I went in to see them and say good morning, and trying to be nice. I was talking about, the weather and that sort of thing. And I said, tell me about you. I said, tell me, what's your news? And one of the women looked up at me and she said, look around. She said, do we look like we got much news? I said, fair enough. And so, at the home, every month, so I work at St. Luke's Homes. Many of you know that. And if you don't, you're not paying attention. And at the home, once a month, we have a doctor's office set up because you see, uh, it's a combination of Bishop Mead Manor, Bab Manor, and the cottages, and then, of course, the home itself. And so once a month, they set up a doctor's office so that the residents don't have to go out to the community, to the doctor. They go in the home. And it's always very busy, because, there's always something, isn't there? And so, anyway, this morning, Edna had her blood work done and she was going to get a physical done with the doctor. And so, anyway, when she went to get the physical done, the doctor said, Edna, you're doing great. My God, he said, you're fit. And he said, you're lucid. He said, you're 87. He said, your blood work came back and it's perfect. He said, you're still married and your husband's still alive. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Yeah, Frank. Yes. He said, and do you have intercourse? She said, well, I'm not sure. And so she said, well, hang on, I'll check. And so the waiting room was blocked with people. For those of you who are from outside Newfoundland, that means busy. And so full. And so anyway, she called out. The door opened. Everyone looked up at Edna. And she said, Frank. And everyone looked at Frank. And she said, the doctor wants to know if we have intercourse. And everyone looked at Frank again. And everyone went quiet. And Frank looked up. He said, I told you it's Blue Cross. I'm delighted. Anyway, God love you. I hope you have a great week. So here we are. It's the 24th, as I said. So the sun crossed over the line. I said all that. And I'm just going through now to make sure that I'm not missing anything. And the only thing I'm missing is that I hope that you have a wonderful time this week doing whatever it is you do. Please, God, please, God, we'll be out of this soon and we won't worry about those people who are coming in from Atlantic Canada and stepping away from them in case they cough. Please, God. Love to you. Have a great week. Thanks for watching. You're so lovely.